Hi, I'm Scott Noonan, CEO of Audio Advice. Anthem is one of our favorite home theater brands at Audio Advice because their products sound so good for the money, and Anthem puts all of their emphasis on giving you the best possible home theater experience. Anthem concurrently released two new surround sound processors, the AVM 70 and the no-holds-barred AVM 90, as well as three new receivers, all using the same base software and hardware platform. They're also matching amplifiers in the same lineup to pair with the surround sound processors. This particular video is on the AVM 70 and the AVM 90 surround sound processors. If you are even considering buying one of these processors, you should watch this entire video. We tested these with Anthem during the development stage, and I'll cut to the chase and tell you they were incredible at integrating our input to build what I believe is a breakthrough product at these price points. If you also want to learn about the amplifiers or the receivers, they're linked in the description of this video. We also have super in-depth written reviews and videos on each of these at audioadvice.com. Now let's get started. At Audio Advice, we just love immersive home theater audio. The new Anthem processors go all the way to 15 channels plus subwoofer outputs. Plus, both models give you a complete set of both balanced audio and RCA outputs for every single channel. In terms of streaming, Anthem had relied on DTS Play-Fi in the past, which was okay, but we were pleased to see them move to Chromecast, AirPlay 2, Bluetooth, as well as Spotify Connect and Roon, which were in certification at launch. Also, with the resurgence in vinyl, Anthem even included a built-in moving magnet phono preamp. This is no afterthought either, as the engineers spent some serious time developing a great moving magnet phono stage. Both surround sound processors have decoding for Dolby Atmos, DTS X Pro, and IMAX Enhanced. Dolby Atmos is the most widely adopted and has clear guidance on where to place your speakers. IMAX Enhanced uses DTS, which can adapt to various speaker layouts. The great news is no matter how that new movie was mastered or remastered, the two new processors have you totally covered. One thing I want to talk about is calibration software. Increasingly, getting your home theater to sound right relates a lot to calibrating to the room itself. Every room's going to have modes and nodes, areas and frequencies where you've got, louder sound, and then frequencies where things cancel out. So pretty much every good receiver and processor in the world now has some kind of calibration software on it. Honestly, I've tried virtually all of them, and Anthem's Arc Genesis software is one of the best, if not the best in the market. I personally have used it in my own theater and in my own Martin Logan 2-channel setup. They even went a step further in the new processors and the new receivers, which was to include a better microphone. And in fact, this new microphone has got a dot on the front that when you set it up, you put the dot forward, and it actually gets the sounds much, much better knowing where every single speaker is. Another point about the Arc Genesis software is that these enable 4 different presets. What this means is you could set up one room correction for the best sound at your own favorite seat, another setting for when you got 2 or 4 people in the room, another for a room full of guests, and maybe another for late night listening with your subwoofers turned down. And along with these 4 Arc presets, they also have full adjustments for level, crossover, and distance for each one. You also have the option to run your main speaker's full range and send bass to a subwoofer at the same time, for those audiophiles who prefer their smaller speakers to just roll off naturally. Both units have 7 HDMI inputs, 3 Toslink digital, 2 coax digital, 4 analog, plus the moving magnet phono preamp. There's also a new eARC HDMI connector so you can get a full Dolby Digital signal back from your TV if you like to use apps like Netflix directly on your television. Both also have Zone 2 audio and HDMI outputs. Most home theater products lock you into using an HDMI input only once. Not so with these new Anthems. You can create up to 30 different inputs with any combination of video and audio you want. A good example of this would be watching a sporting event on HDMI 1 while simultaneously having the audio come from a local radio station. You can do any combination of cool things like this. I'm going to pause here and talk briefly about the browser interface they've built for setting up, upgrading, and managing the processors. It is incredible. For those of you who have set up a lot of processors, you know how much time it takes to scroll through the menu setup and input names, etc. I don't know how to say this, but the browser interface makes setting it up both super fast, but also way better. There's so much you can do. After having it in my own theater, I decided to shoot one of our famous tips and tricks videos using the web interface so customers can just follow my video and simultaneously set it up way faster, as well as get an expert setup as I walk through the details of every single option and what I suggest you do in each situation. For those of you who are AudioAdvice customers, you know we send these tips and tricks videos out with a lot of our products. So know that I've gone over the top on this one to really make it truly powerful for our customers. The processors are designed with AKMI, meaning all of the hardware and platform is designed to enable you to upgrade to it. So at some point, they will actually come out with a new board that will enable these to be 8K enabled should you want to. For many customers, they will never need to do this since the processors have the enhanced audio return channel built in. What this means is if your television is ER capable, the cable connecting the video feed from your Anthem to your TV can also get a full object-based surround sound signal back down the cable. Using eARC, any 8K source connected to your TV could easily feed the audio back to the Anthem processor. This connection also makes it great for those who like to use the apps built into their smart televisions. Anthem took the great look of their STR 2-channel separates and used it for all of the new receivers, amps, and processors. One big advantage, in addition to the fact everything perfectly matches, is the fact that the display now has 5 lines, so you can actually do quite a bit of setup right from the front panel display easily if you want to. The volume is also big enough to easily see across from the room. You can also set the screen to dim if it's in an open room. They did such a good job getting feedback from AudioAdvice and other experts that they've thought about just about everything. So let me just tell you a little bit about what's in the box. Obviously, there's the processor itself. It comes with a power cable. It comes with the full mic and the boom stand for holding the mic when you do your ARC calibration. You'll get obviously your warranty card and a tiny little instruction manual. It's like a sheet of paper. But we're sending out, as I said, the tips and tricks, so everybody's going to get a very detailed video walking through everything that you need to do step by step. You also, by the way, don't forget about these. There's 2 antennas in here. For those of you that are plugging in your processor with an Ethernet cable, you might think you don't need these wireless antennas. It turns out you actually do need them. So put the antennas on. One goes on each end. I go into this into more detail why you need them and how to put them on, all that kind of stuff in the tips and tricks. But suffice it to say, even if you're not using wireless, you will want these on. And again, I go into more detail later. And then obviously the remote control. The old school days, though, of having to use this remote to set it up are totally gone. If you plug in the Ethernet cable and go into the setup, follow my video, super simple. I think you'll love it. With all the great features built into both units, what's the advantage of the AVM 90 over the Anthem AVM 70? There's one main reason: better sound. The Anthem AVM 70 gets an upgraded set of DACs over those used in the Anthem receivers. Coupled with the low noise toroidal transformer, the AVM 70 gives us a big improvement over the previous model. The DACs in the AVM 70 are the 32-bit 768 kilohertz from AKMI, which is pretty impressive on its own. The AVM 90 also uses a 32-bit 768 kilohertz chip, but steps up to the DAC you would expect to see in a multi-$1,000 separate DAC by itself. This means your sound will be smoother and sweeter with deeper bass extension and more effortless presentation. If you plan to use your home theater for music listening, you will definitely appreciate the greater DACs in both of these units, but the AVM 90 is another jump in audio. The other difference between the two is subwoofer control. The AVM 70 has 2 independent subwoofer outputs. These are calibrated individually when you run ARC, which is fantastic. But there are those of us who love our bass, but also want it to be super controlled. We live in the world of more than 2 subs, and the AVM 90 has 4 independent subwoofer outputs. Yes, 4 you can all calibrate individually. I can tell you from personal experience, watching a movie or concert using a system with 4 fine-tuned high-performance subs is like nothing you've heard before. In the past, you had to go to $15,000 plus processors to find something that had individual control for 2 or more subs. With the AVM 90, you can now get this for way under 10 grand, which is fantastic. Anthem processors have always done a fantastic job at spatial imaging. They can locate effects in precise positions with special effects panning across and around the room, sounding totally natural. With the better DACs and improved power supplies on the new models, they're even better. The Anthem AVM 60 was an amazing value, but now with everything you get in the new upgraded AVM 70, it is an even better value. The question comes down to, is the AVM 90 worth double the price of the AVM 70? For most people, the AVM 70 will be a perfect fit and offer excellent sound and spatial imaging in a great home theater. I personally had the previous AVM 60 in my theater and loved the jump to the AVM 70 when I put it in. So I can tell you that you will not be disappointed. But if you are really serious about music listening, the much better DACs in the AVM 90 will offer a big upgrade for your 2-channel listening. Or if you've always wanted more than 2 subs but could not find a processor under $15K to handle them, you will be as happy as we were when we saw the AVM 90 had 4 independent sub channels. By way of perspective, I've had a lot of processors in my own theater, and I immediately purchased the AVM 90 for myself. That should tell you something. If you're in the design phase for your home theater or deciding how best to upgrade your current theater, you should definitely use our free home theater design tool at audioadvice.com. It will take the dimensions of your room and help you map out how many channels are ideal and locations of speakers and pretty much everything else you need to know for nailing your theater. For those of you that watch our videos, you know we do not produce videos or take the time to do them on products that we don't believe in. But every once in a while, you've got to pause and go, this is an incredible product for the money. We've been working with Anthem for over a year on the development of this, including doing beta testing, giving input, working on everything we could dream up to put into it. And I can tell you, they nailed it. These processors are no joke, and you are definitely going to want to make sure you have them set up in a way that takes advantage of every single feature. So we're sending out our exclusive tips and tricks setup video to all Audio Advice purchasers that will make sure you get every ounce of performance out of these great processors. In that video, I get into the super details of everything you can do and try to make it as simple and fun as possible. If you have any questions on either of these processors or any other home audio or home theater gear, give us a call, chat with one of our experts at audioadvice.com, or stop into one of our Raleigh or Charlotte showrooms. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all the latest home audio and home theater content. We'll see you next time.